a minute before 5, and it's July 11th, 2024. I'm here with my upstairs cat, my meditation cat. My downstairs cat is my yoga cat. She loves to join me on the yoga mat. This one likes to greet me in the morning for my meditation time, as well as breath work, um, and just to hang out with me in my office, generally being uh, friendly and annoying at the same time. So we're still working with the Tao Te Ching, verse 42. We're going through Dr. Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, which is his interpretation of the Tao. It's a book that I put off for quite some time. I don't know why. It happens sometimes. The book has to have the right energy at the right time. And although I kept reading interpretations and translations of the Tao, I kept putting this one off. Sometimes it feels like you leave certain teachers behind, and it's always kind of a mistake. What you're generally doing is just getting ready. You're waiting for the right energy at the right time. That's the way it feels with this book. After well over a decade and a half since it's been published, since I bought it, and for whatever reason, it felt like I was ready for this interpretation, and I picked it up, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Verse 42 is difficult. It seems, I don't know, doesn't resonate as many verses in the Tao don't at this point, but it doesn't mean that it won't. So we just keep studying, we keep going through it, and we keep living from the Tao itself, allowing it to reveal aspects of itself when we're ready, when we're open. So let's read verse 42. The Tao gave birth to one, one gave birth to two, two gave birth to three, and three begat the 10,000 things. The 10,000 things, yin, the 10,000 things carry yin and embrace yang. They achieve harmony in combining these forces. People suffer at the thought of being without parents, without food, or without worth. Yet this is the very way that kings and lords once described themselves. For one gains by losing, and loses by gaining. What others taught, I teach. The violent do not die a natural death. This is my foundational teaching. So here, verse 42, Tao Te Ching is talking about embracing seemingly opposites, that in the opposite themselves, we find ourselves embraced by oneness, that within the yin and the yang, we find harmony. Within the masculine and feminine, we find the Tao, we find the way. Our friend Night Watcher is here. Night Watcher says, hello. How are you, Night Watcher? So when he's talking about that people suffer at the thought of being without parents, without food, or without worth, yet this is the very way that kings and lords once described themselves. For we gain by losing, and lose by gaining. That's the paradox. How do we accept that? Well, the truth is, we don't have to accept anything, that the Tao just continues to flow, regardless of what the mind embraces or denies. What they're saying here is that many people have become kings, have become leaders, have become queens, have become emperors through the loss of what they were previously. That through every loss, there is a seeming gain, that through every gain, there is a seeming loss, that the Tao simply continues and continues and continues without distinction, without embracing one at the expense of another. Everything harmonizes, everything finds its own balance. That in truth, we aren't the ones who are doing the balancing, we are simply balancing itself. Night Watcher says, the Violent do not die naturally. Truest of the true statements. Yeah, those are important words. And we have to think of it also in terms of not just um, violence in terms of physical violence, but violence against ourselves. Do we have violent thoughts against ourselves? Violence doesn't mean physical harm. It means, are we putting ourselves down? Are we denying our innate gifts? Are we saying that I can't do this? I can't be an artist. I'm not good enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm this or I'm that. That's violence against ourselves. And the violence against themselves do not die a peaceful death because they are harboring regrets against themselves, grievances against themselves. The path of A Course in Miracles, which for me coincides with the path of the Tao, as well as my yogic path, it's all the same thing, is urging me to forgive and to forgive and to forgive. Forgive the grievances against myself. Night Watcher says his internet is dying. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Night Watcher? Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Sorry to hear about your internet. Night Watcher says so. So it's interesting reading this now in the perspective of where I am in this life. How it starts to make sense. How it's the violence against myself that leads me. Our friend Brian is here. Brian says, have a blessed day. Erica Night Watcher, thank you. Night Watcher says, did he look into Paravan's journey? I haven't yet. I will. Thank you for the recommendation. Thanks for showing up, Brian. Much appreciated. Night Watcher, sorry, the breadwinner, I mean. I haven't. Paravan's journey is a sequel. Got it written down in my book. I promise I will get to it. So, again, it's interesting how something that might not have resonated once with us starts making sense when we explore it later. This is why exploring the Tao, exploring the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, the Dhammapada, A Course in Miracles for me is a lifelong journey. I wrote this morning about awakening, that, you can have an awakening experience and it's a revelation. You see how things are at the deepest possible level. But that doesn't mean you're able to live from that point, that you're able to live from that point of reference. For me, Path of Miracles gives me that ability to live moment by moment by moment from that point of awakening, from that awakening reference. That it's simply a matter of forgiving and forgiving. See, Nat Watcher says that he's currently listening to chapter 19 of Paravan's Journey in audiobook form, because for some reason I have a tough time reading books. Many people do, but you know what? I'm glad that you found a way. I'm glad that you found a way to do that. Let's see. Night Watcher says, thank you, Brian. And how are you, by the way, friend? Brian says, you're welcome, buddy. So I'm going to get ready to take my walk. It's just a little bit cooler here. Tomorrow's supposed to be very much cooler. Going to be a high of like 78 degrees. This is after weeks of being over 100 degrees. What I love when it gets really hot like that, and then it's followed by a cool day, is life comes out. You know, it's almost like the foxes, the deer, the owls, the hawks have been hiding because it's just so hot to get outside for them. They're outside all the time. So they find a cool spot, someplace by water, shaded, and they don't want to come out for a while. But then you have that cool morning and everything is out. Everything is out looking for food, getting water, stretching their legs. It's great to be out and be able to catch it. Doodle says, you want a synopsis for the breadwinner? You know what? I'd rather be surprised. It's enough that you recommended it, and I'll look for it. Give me a second, guys, because I'm going to head outside in just about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm thinking about getting, I had Audible for a long time. I didn't use it enough to make it worthwhile, but I have a free subscription, I think for 3 months. So I'm thinking about trying it. Hold on, Night Watcher. So as you can see, I have it up, and I'll look into it. And maybe maybe I'll do it on an audiobook. All right, guys, so it is after 5. I've been up since 2:30. I woke up, I did my breath work. I start with, it's actually skull shining breath. Skull shining breath, Kabbaltai breathing, is related to breath of fire. Technically, breath of fire is pranayama. Pranayama isn't breath work per se. That breath work involves a bandha. A bandha is an energy lock where you're sealing the energy. It's like you're tying a knot and then you unleash the knot and energy flows after you release it. So if you're not doing a bandha, you're not rightly doing a pranayama, you're doing breath work, which is still infinitely valuable. So skull shining breath is breath of fire without the energy lock, without the bandha. That's my first breath of the day. I do that as I'm sitting in my sukhasana, which is easy pose for meditation. Then I meditate 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes. And then I'm up, I do my yoga. I make some coffee and I'm at my desk and I'm writing. And I write and I share. And then I come here and I talk to you guys. And then I'm out in nature. Everything leads to this moment being out in nature. That when I do my breath work and my meditation, it opens me up. Well, let's say one, it opens me up for the creativity of my writing. I hope everyone's doing one thing creative each morning. I hope that you open up and you just ask the universe, what do you want me to express? It could be a photograph, it could be a video, it could be a drawing, it could be origami, it could be something that you make up completely your own. But ask God, ask the universe, what do you want me to express? What should I share today? And see what it is. And then that opens me up to get outside and get in nature. And that continues. I get out in nature and I ask nature, what do you want to show me this morning? What's going to be revealed from my own unique perspective that only myself through the entirety of the universe is going to be able to see this and capture it on video just for a moment, 15 seconds. What is the universe going to show me through my own unique perspective? And I get to share it with you guys. What a miracle. What a great way to start my day. So I hope you guys, 3 things. I hope you do some breath work. Even if you skip the meditation, I hope you do some breath work. It's invaluable. I hope you do something creative. I hope you get outside in nature. You could reverse the order. Get out, do your breath work, get outside nature, come in because you get that natural meditation. When you're out in nature, your brain immediately starts to enter the alpha brainwave state. You relax, it's a natural meditative state. And then you go inside and you get to be creative. Give it a try, and then let me know how it works for you. Let's see, Brian says, have a good one. Eric, you too, Brian. Night Watcher says, the book is truly enchanting. It's set in, never mind. You have to read it for yourself. Thank you again for the recommendation. As you saw, I have it up. I can order a copy for $1.67, so maybe I'll do that. Night Watcher says, have a good day, Yogi. You too. I'll be back later, guys. If you're around, coming by and say hi. Let's talk more about creativity, about nature, about breath work. If you want. Guys, I'll see y'all later.